it's Di here from Di's Den, and this week I'm going to show you how I made these cards. I'm calling this a bridge card. You see it pops up like this, like a bridge. Now I did my first one as a fold on the back, but I actually didn't like the way that turned out. So, I mean, I love the card, I love the colours, but I didn't like the card. So I did one that stands up like a normal card, so that you get that bridge effect on the front. So with this one, because it stands on an angle, it doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't have the same appeal to me as this one. So we're going to do one this style with that kind of opening today, not this style. If you want to do one this style, that's fine, that's easy enough to do, but as I say, I prefer this style. So we're going to show you this style, and it opens up so you can write inside just as normal, where this one you've got to open it up, turn it over and write in there. So I did it all wrong, and I really wasn't very happy with it all. So that's why, not that it's not a nice card, just not for me. Okay, so this one was done with the Hello Ladybug. This one was done with the new one, I don't know what it's called, something about monkeys. I can't think what it's called. If I will write it in the comments below so you know what set that was if you're wanting to know about it. But let's pop them on one side. And today we're going to use an old set again. I need to use up a lot of my older papers and things before I sell my stamp sets, if I'm going to sell them. Some of them, like this one, I won't sell because I love this flower. So, but I want to use up some of my old DSP. So we're going to use Good Morning Magnolia. We're using thanks, and not only for what you do, but for being someone so special. And we've done this flower and this one. Now I've done all the colouring, I've done the stamping, so I don't need to get them out. So I'll show you what we need, and as you can see as we go along, you'll see. So for my main card, I need a piece that is 8 1/4 by 5 7/8. For my two bridge pieces, which I need 2 of them, that both measure 3 3/4 by 5 7/8. So that's the main card parts done. For the inside, let me bring this in so you can see at the same time. Inside the bridge here, you need a piece of card that measures, hang on, let me get it out. It come out, there you go. That needs to measure 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, and a piece of designer series paper that measures 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. For my pillars here, because they're the only 2 you do, is those 2 front ones, you need 2 pieces of card that measure 1 inch by 5 5/8 of an inch, and 2 pieces of designer series paper that measure 3/4 of an inch by 5 3/8 of an inch. For your insert of your card, insert here like this, you'll need a piece of card that measures 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, and your white piece, which I've already stamped as you can see and coloured, 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. Now you need something to go across your bridge here that is going to be able to hold that into the right section, like so. So I have done this magnolia and I like it very much, so that's what I'm using. Now I actually stamped, coloured and then cut it out, and then I cut it out again in just plain white and glued it over the top so it's nice and sturdy. So that's for my bridge piece. And now for my saying, which again is up to every individual person, this piece measures 2 1/4 by 1 inch, and this one measures 2 inches by 3/4 of an inch. So that's all we're going to need. So let me pop that card back out of the way. Let's move these things out of the way for a minute, and we will start with our scoring. Okay, let's bring my scoreboard in, and I'm going to score all of these pieces at the same time. So we're going to score our main card on the long side with our small edge nozzle, because that's for DSP, this is for card. So we're going to score this at 4 1/8. So that's that piece done. You can pop that on one side. Now we're going to score our pieces of the bridges, and we're going to score these at 1 1/4, 2 1/4, and 3 1/4. And we're going to do that again on this piece. 1 1/4, 2 1/4, and 3 1/4, which gives you a 1/2 inch piece on each end. So one's going to go that way and one's going to go that way. So let's bring those in. Let's bring in my card base, and we're going to fold and burnish this card nicely. I'm just having a bit of trouble there. There we go. Got it now. Alright, so that's our main card, and then we're going to go and fold these pieces. So we're going to start with the 1 1/4 section, and we're going to fold that as a mountain fold. Then the next fold is going to be a valley fold, and the last fold is going to be a mountain fold. So our piece of card will look like this. Can you see that from the top? So we're going to do that again. Mountain fold on the 1 1/4 inch side. Valley fold. Let me fold that for this side, it's just easier. Oh. And then a mountain fold for the 1/2 inch one. Okay, so with these ones, we're going to pop these two pieces to the outside, the outside, like so. So from the back, this is how they'll look if they were stuck on. So you've got your little bit, then comes in like steps. So we're just going to very, very tiny, just take a tiny little piece off of there. Oh, look at that. I've got up my fingernails from all the crafting I've done this morning. And this one here too. As I know that I'm going to go back into hospital again in July, and I'm doing this at the end of June. So I'm actually getting a little bit ahead. So we're going to glue them so that that is glued on to the front of the card like so. So we're going to make sure that we have our card up the right way. Well, at this stage I guess it doesn't really matter. Well, it does, yes, because if you've got it upside down. Okay, so, oops, let's pull my pin out. Get the nib working. It's a bit chilly here today, so we're going to put glue on this strip here, all the way along, making sure that it comes out. Yep, there it comes. And then I found it easiest to actually pop it down like this, move that out of the way, and line that edge up with the edge of the card. That was my easiest way. I found that I could line it up on the 3 sides nicely. And then we're going to do exactly the same. I'm going to just pop that down nice and hard on this side, on the opening side. So we're going to pop some more glue on this piece, on this 1/2 inch piece, the same as we did before. And then we're going to open that up and line that up with the edge of the card and the top and the bottom. And by using the liquid glue, you've got that little bit of wiggle room to get it into the right place. So once you're happy with that, we can squish that down nice and tightly like so. And there we have our basic card. So once we've done that, we're going to pop our piece in the middle. So that's why we didn't worry about those bits there, because we're not going to be able to see them. So let me bring in my inside pieces, which is this piece, which is the 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, and the 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. And I'm going to glue these pieces together, these layers. So this piece will be called, if I can get my sleeve out of the ruler there. This piece will be called the front middle if you're getting the written tutorial from my Facebook group. And if you haven't joined my group, you will find the link down the bottom here for my Facebook group. So now we're going to pop that piece onto the middle piece here. And you won't see those little bits that are showing there and there, because when this goes across here, it's going to be closed across. So now we're going to pop our pieces on either side here. Here and here. We're not putting anything on these ones. There's no need for it whatsoever. If you wanted to put them on there, that's fine, but I don't see that there's any point. You can't see them. So, because once they are glued into place, once the bridges piece on the front is glued into place, you can't see them at all. So this is a lovely quick card, actually, which is something I really like occasionally, to do a nice quick card. Sometimes you just want a card that's nice and quick and yet can look so stunning when made. And this is one of those. So we're going to pop these. Just remember, if you've got directional paper, that you must have your direction in the portrait style, because if you put it in the landscape, your picture will be in the wrong direction. Okay, so that's our front of our card done. Now for me, I need to put something here that's heavy, and the only thing I've got on my desk is actually a stapler. So I'm going to bring that in, and I'm going to pop this on here so that I know where it's going to go. And that's the whole idea. So we want to hold this down so that we can pop this on here. So we know that we can pop glue. That's if we turn it over upside down, and I use my pencil, because I've got other things here, I know where I can put my glue. Whoops. And I won't put it right to the edge, so I will pop my glue in those spots there like that. And then I can pop this on here. Then I can double check it by looking at that and going, damn, I put it in the wrong spot. But you know what, it's going to dry before I get there, so I'm not going to worry about that little bit just there. I've wiped it off on the underneath, and you're probably going to me, ah, they got that in the wrong spot. So I'm going to clap that one down, this one down nice and tightly there and there, like so. So I'm going to let that dry for a second, and while that's doing that, I'm going to pop my saying together, which I have put together here, and I use the happy labels, lovely labels, I can't remember. I'm really having a bad day at remembering today. To do this edge here. Once I've done that, I'm going to pop this on here. So I'm going to pop him probably down here like this. Or I might put my bow on first so I can actually see where he's going to go. And it might end up going up there. Oh, I'm not sure yet. So let's pop my bow on. So I made my bow. Again, this is now retired ribbon. And if I haven't used it, I've got to use it. I cannot keep on and on. So I'm going to put my bow just here on him, and I think I'm still going to pop in there because I can then put a little dimension there and one here. So I can use a large dimensional on this side and a small one, if there's any small ones on that pack. Here we go. One small one in that top corner, so that I can pop that onto the card like so, making sure that I've got that on there. And that's the outside of my card except for my embellishments. So let's pop the inside in, which I've already done. I've already stamped all of this one and done it. So we will then pop this one together. And pop that onto the inside of the card. Oops, I want to make sure I get down the edges. I hate things that lift. So pop that onto the inside of my card like so. Close my card up, put my pin in my glue. Get in there. There we go. And now we'll just pop some little, I've got some little, these are pills, and we'll pop one there, one just in the middle there, oops, and one more I think just up here. And that's our card for today. I hope you've enjoyed that. I love it. I think it's gorgeous. I love the way it sits, and this pops out, but it will lay flat to go into an envelope to send to somebody. Look, so it's nice and flat there, but when they pull it out of the envelope, it's going to pop out at the front here, so you get that bridge effect. So you can see it when it's laying down. You can see that they're springy and it does bridge up. So I'll bring in the other two. That's the first, my one I did for that, and this was my original one, and they all spring, yes, but I think I like the opening this way better than the opening this way. So, but if you wanted to do it this way, all you've got to do is where your main card is, you cut it the opposite way. You cut it at 4 1/8 by 11 3/4, and then you make these pieces. But by doing it this way rather than this way, you can get a whole lot out of one A4 sheet of card. This way you can't, because these bits are not wide enough that's left over. Well, I guess it could be, but it never seems to be the same. So that's my card. It's called a bridge card. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've enjoyed it, please leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. I do answer all the comments. If you'd like the written tutorial for this, please head down to Di's Dan for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. That's my Facebook group, and you will find the written tutorial there, plus the photos of all the pictures. And they always go live at the same time. So whatever date this video is, the written tutorial goes live at exactly the same time. So if it's 8 AM South Australian time, and whatever Sunday it's on, that's the same time on the Facebook group, and it will be always named the same thing, except for it won't have the numbers in front of it. So this will be just called a bridge card, where this will be called, on this video, will have a number plus a 23 in commas, which means that's the 23rd year of 2023, sorry. So, and that's how it is. So if you'd like this, or you'd like to purchase anything, please let me know and I can help you. Bye for now.